Well, welcome to this episode of ISV Talks. I'm Carol Livingston, owner of Dynamics Connection, and your host of ISV Talks. And on this episode, I have Chris Dobkins from PowerGP Online. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Carol. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm really excited about having you on our ISV Talks video. We've been trying to get this scheduled for a while.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
start.
it's great to be here.
Let's start with, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, but how long have you been in the Dynamics channel?
Oh man, I get asked this question often, and the best way for me to answer this question, I think, is I started working with Dynamics from Great Plains Software back in I think it was 1994
Oh, yeah.
on version 2.12. Back when you ordered Dynamics and it came on a stack of floppy disks about this big. Um,
Right.
it's and it would take us 2 or 3 hours to do an installation on one computer. So we're popping those floppy disks in and out of the computer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Uh,
things have gotten so much easier. It's amazing
yeah,
how far we've come in
right.
25 years.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember those
Yeah.
floppy disks, and we put them in binders. I don't know if they send them out in binders, but we'd have the binders, all the
Yeah.
software.
Yeah, and always, no doubt, disk 23 or 24 would be bad. So you'd have to stop your installation and call Great Plains, be like, hey, can you send me a replacement disk 23? And they would put it in the mail. And several
Yeah,
days later, your disk would show
days
up.
later, there you are. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
so yeah. So I guess that does date you. You've been in the
it
channel for
does. They
a
dates me a
while
little
now.
bit.
Oh, well, let's start with, how did the company start? Tell us kind of your company history
Mhm.
and the journey you guys have been on.
Yeah, my Ingevity is actually my second Dynamics GP company. I started my first one in '94 in Nashville, Tennessee, and transitioned out of that and moved to Colorado in 2000 and started Ingevity in 2001. And at the time, we were
Oh,
primarily a Dynamics GP value-added reseller. We were a VAR. So, we started building up a team to help customers select and implement the Dynamics GP as their ERP and accounting system. And it was in about 2010 when we started to really add cloud hosting services to our repertoire. And I think 2015-ish is when we really started working on PowerGP Online, which is really kind of version 2 of our cloud offering, where
yeah.
we kind of looked at the hosting solution that we were offering to our GP customers and said, hey, if we rebuilt this thing from the ground up, what would we do differently? And how could we make it better? How could we create a better
Yeah.
experience for our customers? And so Power GP Online was kind of born out of that, as well as a challenge from Microsoft. Microsoft challenged us. They said, hey, we want to know if you can create a hosted version of GP that where you can deploy a new instance of GP in minutes, not days. And so, version 1 of PowerGP Online actually was all in Azure, and it was portal driven. Customers could go into the portal and basically create a whole new environment for themselves in about 6 minutes. It was something
Oh,
that even the folks working in Fargo thought was going to be impossible to do, but our team figured it out. And then, kind of version 2 of PowerGP Online, we added remote desktop into the equation. So, in fact, now most of our customers today are running in our private cloud on remote desktop, as it's a more cost effective option than say doing remote desktop in Azure.
hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's been quite a journey. PowerGP Online, in addition to building it on top of the Microsoft Identity framework, so we could add additional security layers like multi-factor authentication. We also said, hey, what if we just start creating some of our own new functionality to make the experience better for
All
our
right.
customers? So that's when we really shifted from really just kind of hosting GP to being a cloud solution that not just hosts Dynamics GP, but also extends and enhances the capabilities of Dynamics GP for all of our customers.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. So, yeah, in fact, tell us a little bit about tell us a little about what products do you have for GP customers and how's it different than if they had just GP, on their server in their back office?
Yeah, well, uh, there I can answer that question a couple of ways, but I'll start with some of the new things we've added to Dynamics GP. So one of the ones that our customers seem to love the most is called PowerGP Banking. And if you've ever used QuickBooks, you know how QuickBooks will just connect
Yep.
up with your bank and download transactions and say, hey, does this transaction match this transaction that's already in QuickBooks? I mean, we've since I started working on Dynamics GP, back with the stack of floppy disks, we had customers asking us, hey, when is Dynamics GP going to be able to do this banking thing like QuickBooks does? And we just kept waiting for Microsoft to do it, and Microsoft never did it. So we thought, well, why don't we do it? So PowerGP banking is, kind of that banking connection, very similar to what you get
Mhm.
with QuickBooks, where you can connect up to your bank with your online banking credentials or an account number and a routing number, and we'll download your transactions. Make it really easy to match to what's already in GP. If you've got stuff that's in your bank that's not in GP, you can hit a button and we'll import it into the bank reconciliation module for
Great.
you. Really, really easy. We also do the same thing with credit cards. So we'll download the credit card
Oh,
information, make it really easy for you to code it. We have a memory feature across the whole application, so it remembers how you coded transactions last time. So the more you use it, really, the less you have to use it, and it'll bring in all of your you have I think 10,000 different banks we integrate with and credit cards, and
oh,
it's really
exciting.
I know for me, we're also a customer of Dynamics GP and Power GP Online. And it's taken the amount of time for me to reconcile my checkbook from almost an hour down to about
Oh.
5, 10 minutes. It's really, really fast. And it's fun. It's fun, to just see everything download and match up. It's like, oh, that's cool. In addition to PowerGP banking, we also added PowerGP import, which is just a really easy way for you to import data into almost any window inside of Dynamics GP. So if you want to import a customer or a set of customers, you go to the customer maintenance window, and we've added an import button. And we have a set of templates that are connected to those windows. You just get your data
Okay.
into an Excel spreadsheet, and you can import it right in using PowerGP import. We import to almost all the master records and transactions. So if for customers that have simple integrations that don't require a lot of mapping and translations, it's a
Yeah.
cheap, easy, fast way to get your data into GP. We've also created a new API for Dynamics GP. So we call that Power GP Connect, and that gives you the ability to really, like any of these web-based accounting systems out there. This API gives Dynamics GP users the ability to connect with other web applications that are out there and create integrations with other web apps.
Great.
So let's say you wanted to create an integration with Timely for timesheets or with Expensify for expense reports. That can be done really easy using our API. But most of our customers use our API either as a connector for PopDoc or for live Excel reports on their local computer. So
Okay.
if you've ever used like GP's live Excel reports that are kind of
Yeah.
connected directly to the database, we give you the ability to do the exact same thing, except your Excel is on your local computer and your data is in our cloud. And a lot of our customers really kind of dig that. It's
Love
it's
that.
pretty
Yeah.
cool to be able to do. And then beyond all of that, we've done a lot of modifications to the Dynamics GP windows just to try to make them easier to use and more intuitive and to simplify them. So there's a lot that we've done just throughout the application to make our customers' lives easier.
Yeah. So, GP in the cloud, but it's better, right? Not your
GP in the
tagline,
cloud, but it's better.
but
Exactly.
it's better.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Carol.
Oh, well, changing gears a little bit because it sounds like you've been
Uh-huh.
on the channel a long time. Kind of the changes you've seen in the Microsoft, as a publisher, as partners and customers, and what challenges are you seeing with customers and partners at this point over the last couple years?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest challenge we're seeing in the market right now is just is we're kind of wrapped around this whole Microsoft announcing end of support for Dynamics GP in 2029 and hot fixes through 2031. It's just kind of created a lot of confusion, and of course Microsoft is really trying to push their customers to Dynamics 365 Business Central or BC. And we're seeing a lot of customers just asking questions like, you know, what's
Yeah,
going on? Like, do I
yeah,
have to stop using my GP? What are my options? And
yeah.
the message that I just want to make sure our customers hear, if you take one thing away from this podcast, the one thing I'd like you to take away if you're a Dynamics GP customer is there's nothing to worry about. Uh, yes, Microsoft is going to
Good.
stop supporting Dynamics GP, but one could argue that they're barely supporting it today. In fact, one could argue they've barely been supporting it for the last 5 to 8 years. So, our customers really rely on us, Ingevity, to support their Dynamics GP applications
Sure.
if they're on premises or in our PowerGP Online cloud. And the commitment that we're making to all of our GP customers is that Ingevity will be here to support you well past 2031. We're committed to supporting our Dynamics GP customers for as long as our GP customers want to be supported. And we're really working on some new innovative ways to provide our customers not just with support, but also to continue enhancing and updating the Dynamics GP
Hmm.
application, whether you're in PowerGP Online or not. We want to continue to provide GP customers with new features and new capabilities,
Awesome.
as well as the support of their
Yeah.
applications. So, if you're a Dynamics GP and you love your Dynamics GP, or you just don't want to spend the time and money right now to
Mm.
implement a whole new ERP system, Ingevity is here to help you stay on Dynamics GP for as long as you would like to. As long as it's working for
Yeah.
your business, you can stay on it.
Yeah. And I feel like there's also challenges for customers, to even just, maybe finding the right consultant or partner to help them continue to maintain their GP even. So I think that's a
Yeah,
challenge.
there's a lot of partners out there, Carol, that have
Yeah.
already diversified into
Hmm.
other ERP systems. So,
Oh, that's a good
if you're
point.
a
Yeah.
GP customer and you're with partner
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, and partner X, Y, and Z has picked Acumatica, partner X, Y, and Z is going to try to convince you that Acumatica is the best thing for you.
Sure.
If your partner has picked NetSuite, they're going to try to convince you that's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
Microsoft is trying their damnedest to convince you that Business Central is the best thing for you.
Right.
And my encouragement to our Dynamics GP customers, number one, if it's still working for you, there is no reason for you to
Sure.
switch. If it's
Hmm.
not working for you, don't just take what your partner says. Don't just listen to Microsoft. Like, if you're gonna change ERP systems, go to market, see what else is out there, and
Yeah.
make sure you pick the one that's best for you if it's not Dynamics GP.
Yeah. But what if GP is still the best solution for them? They can stay on it,
Yeah,
right?
and we're seeing that a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
firmly believe that Dynamics GP is the best mid-market accounting software for companies in the US. There is just no other application that has the
Mhm.
depth of functionality and the broad reach across industry through our ISV ecosystem. A lot of the customers that we see, if you're using Winsoft for service management, if you're using Vicinity for process manufacturing, if you're using Horizons for manufacturing, heck, if you're using Microsoft Dynamics GP for manufacturing or project accounting,
Right?
you are going to have a hard time
Yeah.
finding another application out there that really does all of the things that Dynamics GP and your combination of ISVs
Right.
is able to
Yeah.
do. We just had a customer that has two users of Dynamics GP. They went and got a quote from a BC partner to move to BC, and it was over $100,000
Oh
for
my
this two
God.
user system to migrate because uh, the customer had a couple of ISV products that didn't exist in BC, and that's how much money it was going to cost this partner to
Wow.
rewrite those
Yeah.
ISVs from scratch
Mm-hmm.
for this
Mm-hmm.
customer. And then if your ISVs are getting rewritten in custom code, guess whose responsibility it is to upgrade that? It's yours. And
Mm-hmm.
this is why division customers tend to not upgrade their
Right.
their product. I mean, we've got
I
division
hear there's
customers
a
still.
few more. Yeah, and I hear there's a few more now customers than there are TV customers. So, and
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
seems like
it's so expensive to do upgrades on that division platform when you've got lots of custom code. There's still
yeah,
division customers out there on versions of Nav from 2009. And if this is starting to sound like alphabet soup, apologies. Division is the product that got renamed to Dynamics 365 Business Central. So
right.
Business
Yeah.
Central and Division, kind of the same platform.
Yeah, that's a good point. And like you said, Microsoft's trying to drive, customers to the cloud and with PowerGP Online, you can do that. They're trying
Yes.
to say you can't get, all the modern technologies like Power Platform. Well, you can, right? PowerGP Online offers that through your Power Connect. But also too, I see a lot of
Yeah.
ISVs have cloud-based solutions and they're using AI and they're using all of these, modern technologies in the Power Platform. So it seems like we're getting the benefit of all of those new tools and as a, Dynamics GP community, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have so many options available to customers today that want to use different types of AI in their Dynamics GP solution through a variety of ISVs. And yeah, you're totally right. If you want to use the Power Platform with PowerGP Online, that is what PowerGP Connect allows you to do. It gives you that API to securely push data back and forth between some of these cool new web web apps
yeah,
and GP and the Power GP Online Cloud.
yeah, exactly. And it's not easy to move to a new ERP and you have to, make sure you got the, the right software and the right budget and the right timing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Well, and
it's fun,
a lot of our listeners may remember what it was like when they moved to Dynamics GP.
right?
And
Right.
some of those migrations, some of those implementations, I'm sure were relatively easy, and some of them were probably less easy, depending on the complexity of the business and the kinds of ISVs. But generally speaking, an ERP implementation creates a lot of friction and distraction within a business. And I know for us at Ingevity, when we implemented Dynamics GP, our business was pretty simple. Uh, we didn't, we just implemented GP and started using it, and that was in 2004. Now, in the 19 years since well, gosh, in the 21 years since we started using GP, do I have the math right on that? I don't feel like I could possibly be that old. Uh, in in the time since we started using GP, we have added so many custom reports. We've added custom integrations with things like our CRM
Mhm.
system and our contract billing system. I mean, we didn't just implement GP and stand still. We implemented GP, and then we were constantly adding to it and refining it and adding new business processes into it. So
Yeah,
today, if we were going to move to another ERP system, I mean, Dynamics GP is like the circulatory system of our business.
yeah.
You're talking major, major surgery for us to replace it, and the
Mhm.
likelihood that we're going to remember every report in every integration, uh, it would be really, really difficult for us. And, it would end up not only consuming a lot of time and treasure from our company, but it would consume so much leadership capital that we probably wouldn't be able to do anything else while we were trying to make sure that our ERP
And,
implementation was running smoothly.
uh,
And, that would slow us down as a business, which we don't want to do. Plus, Dynamics GP does everything we need it to do. And we've looked around. We're also a consulting firm and support provider. We've looked around at other ERP solutions. We just don't believe any of them. We don't believe in any of them enough to really recommend them to our customers. We
I
still
see.
really believe Dynamics GP is the one that really meets the needs of these mid-market customers, including ourselves.
Yeah, so can you maybe share a story of maybe a customer that went to PowerGP Online and kind of how did they, succeed and how did you guys help them?
Yeah, uh, one of the trends that we see a bit, and it's unfortunate, um, but we frequently see customers that have gotten ransomware.
Um,
Sometimes they've gotten ransomware for the third time before they call us. And hopefully it's the first time. Hopefully you come to us before you get ransomware at all. It is not a fun experience. You don't want to have it. But we have a what we call a lifeboat program for customers. Sometimes we get a customer that's getting kicked out of their data center, or they have a service provider that's said, "Hey, we're going to stop working with you at the end of the month." But a lot of times it's a ransomware deal or a server crashes and they don't have a backup. So we use our lifeboat program to really expedite the movement of their on
yeah.
premises or from their other service provider into our cloud in a day or two. Sometimes just a matter of hours. I mean, we can really move this very, very quickly when it's an emergency situation, and nobody's worried about, like, let's take time to test things. We've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of that, and our customers, but just based on our posture towards security, can have the confidence to know that once they're in our cloud, they're not going to have to worry about ransomware again. Like, right, that really becomes our problem, to make sure that we're protecting our customers, our data. And we spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to ensure the security
Mhm.
and stability of our networks. From providing our customers with multi-factor authentication, requiring all of our administrative users to have multi-factor authentication. So if a password gets compromised, it's next to impossible for a bad actor to get into our environment.
Mhm.
We've also done a lot of things to create as much of an air gap as possible between our production systems and our backup systems. So yeah, these bad guys, they're smart. When they break into your system, a lot of times they're there for 6 months before you get your first ransom letter, and they found your backups, and they encrypted your backups first thing, because if you could just go back to a backup, you're not going to pay them. So they got to get your backups before they get your
Yeah,
real data. So it's really
good
important
point.
to make sure that we keep that separation. So
Mm,
if somebody did get past all of our defenses and our cyber team, our backups would still be secure. So we
yes.
spend a lot of time and effort trying to make sure that our customers are not going to have issues with cybersecurity or ransomware, and providing that peace of mind, I think, is one of the most important things that we do for our customers.
Yeah, versus having the server in a back closet behind, the president's office or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
we had one of those recently, and their server crashed, and they
yeah.
realized nobody had been checking the backups for 2 years, and so they didn't have a backup for 2 years. You know, I mean, you
That's
name
right.
it, Carol. We've probably seen it.
You've probably seen it all. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's the thing. People don't test their backups or they're on the same network. So if you get ransomware, they encrypt the backup too. And so you're stuck
yeah,
double. So yeah, no, those are all
yeah,
really good. And I know a lot of partners have their own hosting, but you guys add so much more value with, your ransomware. You're doing, a lot of security around the data center and the software and the individual passwords, like you said.
yeah. Exactly. It starts with the physical security of our data center
Yeah.
and extends through every layer of the software. Uh, that's one of the reasons why we built PowerGP Online on top of the Microsoft Identity Framework, or people used to call it Azure AD. Now I think it's called Azure Entree. But it basically allows us to provide that multi-factor authentication to level up the security posture of our customers,
Sure.
and to help ensure, hey, it's easy to compromise password. It's not as easy to get a compromised password and access to a user's device, so
Right.
that you can enter that second factor.
That is a good point. So, yeah, so heavy investments in cybersecurity, backups, environment, all together, good thing. What are some of the new
Yeah.
things that you're looking to introduce and add value and help those clients on their journey to the cloud?
Well, we have a variety of things that we're working on. I think this week we're releasing an update to PowerGP Banking that will allow it to work for companies that have treasury management systems with their banks, and providing just a lot of other updates and improvements to the application. We're also working on a payment automation solution for Dynamics
Oh,
GP that will,
that's new.
yeah, we're hoping to get it out later this year. We hit some snags from a regulatory standpoint, and so we've kind of sorted through a lot of that. But Power GP payments is what we're calling it. That's going to allow our customers to, basically upload their accounts payable to PowerGP payments, go through a select payments process. That's going to be so much easier than what you do in GP, and then just submit payments to vendors electronically. And
Sure.
it'll also help you onboard those vendors, and increase security, because one of the ways that we've seen customers have fraud within their systems in GP is through electronic payments. You may have some protection around who can create a vendor and who can issue a payment, but if you can edit the bank account information on that vendor, it can look like you're paying company ABC, but really that money's going somewhere else. And
Yeah.
PowerGP payments is going to it require the vendor to enter their bank account information. So you're not going to have situations where an employee changes a bank account, or you get the email that says, "Hey, we've changed our banking information. Please update it." If you've changed your
Mhm.
banking information as a vendor, you got to log into the system,
Yeah.
authenticate with your online banking credentials and switch bank accounts. It's not something you do through email. So, it's really going to level that up and help reduce fraud in our AP systems, which we're really excited about. We're also looking at some additional enhancements to GP, bringing some AI capabilities into
Oh,
Dynamics GP, and that may be something that we try to do for all of our GP customers, not just the Power GP customers. As I said, we're really looking at a way to create
yeah.
a new community of GP customers as Microsoft starts to get out of the business of supporting and enhancing Dynamics GP. We're trying to figure out, how can we create a community of Dynamics GP customers that continue to
Yeah.
receive enhancements and support from Ingevity.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so you kind of have that a little bit of a sigh of relief that okay, if I stay on a little bit longer while we kind of investigate or make a best business decision, you're not going to be, kind of out of luck, right? No support,
No,
no
no,
updates.
you're absolutely not going to be out of luck. We got you.
Yeah,
We're trying to figure out the right timing of when to start releasing
yeah,
this because we don't want to. We don't want Microsoft to feel like we're doing something we shouldn't be doing, right? So, but we figure once Microsoft is past their date, anything goes,
yeah,
and so we're going to do anything and everything. Um,
yeah. But in the
and
meantime,
by the way, speaking of Microsoft's date, I also firmly believe that they are going to be extending their support dates for GP, if
oh,
not
yeah,
if not,
yeah,
to 2034, 2035, then even longer. So, we've got 40,000 customers on Dynamics GP today.
mm,
If you tried to migrate all of those to something else in 5 years, I mean, we just don't have the bandwidth in our channel to do that. Uh,
right,
and provide customers with a good experience in their migration. You might be able to get
yeah,
migrated, but you might not have a good
yeah,
experience.
like,
So,
yeah,
we firmly believe Microsoft is going to be pushing those dates based on past patterns with other products that they've retired, and
right,
our customers just don't have to worry. When we hit those dates, even if Microsoft didn't extend them, Dynamics GP is not going to stop working. It's gonna
that,
keep working, and
mhm.
Ingevity is going to keep supporting it and helping you get all the value you need out of your GP system.
Yeah, awesome. And I get that question all the time from partners too, like, oh, what does PowerGP Online plan to do? And I'm like, what
Uh-huh.
do you mean? Like, as long as there's GP customers, they're still going to be supporting them, and so
Yep. Yeah, there's no plan B here. We do
yeah,
not, at Ingevity, we do not have another ERP application that we are implementing. I mean, we are here for our Dynamics GP customers. Like I said, for as long as they want to use Dynamics GP, we will be
yeah,
here to support you and to enhance the product. And we're a Dynamics GP
right.
customer. And
Sure,
I promise you, replacing Dynamics GP with something that does less is not even on our top 20 list of
yeah,
things we want to spend money on as a business. We have a lot of other investments that we need to make. We have a lot of things we need to do to keep
yeah,
growing and to keep providing our customers with great experiences. And replacing a perfectly functional ERP system with something that doesn't do everything that our current system does not rate.
great, yes. Yeah, it's definitely something to think about because it works. You can stay on it, and and kind of back to your point that your partner might be interested in you looking at some other products that they also offer. But as you know, most CFOs or IT directors, they're going to look in the marketplace, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I hope you do. If Dynamics GP isn't working for you, uh, Don't take Microsoft's word for it. Don't take your partner's word for it. Go out and look and see what's in the market because, you know,
Yeah.
just because the solution that your partner liked the best doesn't mean that it's going to work the best for you.
Right.
You have a unique solution with not just Dynamics GP, but with the unique combination of ISVs that you've added to Dynamics
Mhm.
GP. And what's going to work best for you and your business? It might not be Microsoft's next product, and it might not be the solution that your partner has selected. And maybe the solution is to just keep using GP. And
Definitely an option.
and to yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So something you should look at, partners should recommend PowerGP Online as an option because what's better to keep your GP customers happy and on GP, and
Yeah.
I I just talked to a customer this last week. I don't normally talk to customers. I usually talk to partners and the CFO was saying, Carol, I don't want to move, and I actually want to find a partner or consultant that can help me add functionality right now to GP. So that sentiment will
I
probably be
hope
out
I hope you
there for
gave
a
him our name,
while.
Carol.
Oh, I did. I did. We talked about Power GP Online for sure. So,
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah, I
kind
mean
of,
that's another big challenge that we're seeing in our partner community is, as our partners start taking on other products,
yeah,
typically consultants are the kind of people that are hardwired up to want to learn the new thing.
yeah,
And so what's happening is the number of people at that partner organization that are supporting and consulting on Dynamics GP is decreasing as those people are shifting over to other products. And
right.
it can be really frustrating. So, you might be seeing your support times coming down. You might be seeing the quality of your support decreasing. You might be asking your partner questions like, oh gosh, Carol, we had this happen just recently where, a customer was asking their partner if they could do something in Power GP Online, and the partner said no. But the actual answer was yes. And the customer, almost moved to
Mhm.
another application because they thought their partners gave them bad information.
Yeah,
They didn't know. They
I
were
just
more
didn't know.
focused on something
Yeah,
else. And
yeah, that's
it's a
true.
challenge.
Yeah,
If you're a GP customer and you are planning to stay on Dynamics GP, maybe it's time to do a partner evaluation and find a partner. And Ingevity is not the only one. We're not the only one
yeah,
out there that's doing it. I think we're the best one, but there are other partners
yeah.
out there as well that are
Oh, yeah,
focusing on GP and trying to do the right thing for their customers versus just trying to move their customers as fast
yeah,
as they can to something else. And go find, if you're going to stay on GP, go find a partner that's not going to be constantly pestering you about moving to something else.
yeah,
Find a partner that has resources to support GP. Find a partner that has consultants that can help you implement new things and create new reports and integrations. And find a partner that loves GP. Because I mean, you might as well be working with people who love the product they're working with.
hmm yeah, definitely. And I feel like, those that work at GP want to do the right thing for their customers, right? What's in their best interest and have a genuine concern for their customers and what their future is, right? So have that conversation with your partner. And like I said, if it's
Yeah,
not a fit, maybe it's time to also, you know, find out if there's other partners out there who could support you along that lines. Just maybe kind of wrapping up because I know we're almost out of time. Is
sure.
there one trend, Chris, that you are seeing that is driving customers or partners to come talk to you?
Well, I think we've been talking about it. I think customers that come to events like Summit, GPUG Summit, and they see us there, and they see our team, they see our positivity towards GP. We got a lot of customers coming by and saying, "Hey, I heard this from my partner, or I heard this from Microsoft. What do you think about that?" Getting a different perspective from us. Hearing
Yeah,
from
definitely
us
help.
that like you can keep using Dynamics GP.
Yeah.
We're going to be here to support you. We're getting a lot of customers contacting us about that. Like, tell me the truth about this whole thing. Like, do I have to move? Like, because that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing I have to move, and
Yeah.
we're the you don't have to move partner. So we're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
We've got partners coming to us. There's a handful of partners that feel the same way as we do, and they see PowerGP Online as the way for a Dynamics GP customer to keep
Yeah.
their GP and move to the cloud. Something that you can do for a few $1,000s versus $100,000
Right.
plus. They see that as one of the best options for the way for their customers to get to the cloud. And we're also seeing some partners that have just kind of said, "Hey, you know what? Um, I think I'm ready to retire. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to keep doing this thing, but I don't want my customers to end up in a place where they're just going to get hounded and just looked at as a lead pool for something else. I want my customers to end up somewhere that's going to love them as much as we do. So we have partners who are kind of at that stage in their lives coming to us because I think they know that we're going to take care of their customers and we're going to love them and care for them. And
Great.
so I think we've done two or three acquisitions of GP partners this past year, and we're
Oh,
looking to do more. At the end of the day, we just really want to love and take care of these GP customers, and you know, so your
awesome.
partner, if that's where you're at, we're here for you, and we'd love to talk to you.
Great. So, well, thank you, Chris, for joining us today to talk about PowerGP Online. And I appreciated you being in our group this past semester. I always enjoy working with the team and talking with partners about PowerGP Online. Chris, this is your contact information. You want to kind of go over that?
Yes, absolutely. So again, my name is Chris Dobkins. I'm the founder and president and CEO of PowerGP or of Ingevity, and Ingevity is the company that made PowerGP Online. If you'd like to talk to our team about any of the things we've talked about today, if you're a Dynamics GP customer and you'd just like to get
Right.
a different perspective on Dynamics GP, or you're looking for a partner that loves Dynamics GP and can help and support you. If you're a partner and you're looking for a new home for your customers, you can contact our team at sales@powergponline.com. That's sales at powergponline.com. You can also hit us on the internet at www.powergponline.com. We'd love to hear from you. Please reach out. Our team is standing by.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. And thank you,
Yeah, thank
friends.
you, Carol.
And thank you, friends, for joining us on this week's episode of ISV Talks. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.